Hello, everybody. Welcome to an all-new Beyond the Barricade. I am your host, Papa Jenk, and I hope everybody's doing great this Saturday night. And yeah, it's Saturday. I don't know if it's night yet, but it's close to being night. We got some stuff coming up, which I want to showcase. Look at this, Sinclair's Backlot Brawl. We're going to talk about this in a moment. So without further ado, my very special guest today, the one and only CJ Bambino. How you doing, bud?
What's going on, man? I noticed in your little intro you got there, it's all these guys and not a single CJ Bambino. Nothing, no interaction. How many times have I seen you at shows and you don't put the Bambino in your intro?
We've been a lot of times, but we haven't filmed anything together except for now.
I'm disappointed in you. And not only that, Rita told me to bust your chops. She turned but how many times we had to reschedule this?
So many times, man. Whether it be my schedule and my schedule and my schedule. Really.
Not busting your chops. I'm happy to be on. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm excited you're on, and I love the shirt, man. I'm a big Godfather fan, so I have to point that out. The Subfather.
Yeah, my brother is he's a jiu-jitsu practitioner, and he's a black belt at Maxim Jiu-Jitsu over in Long Island in the East Islip area. So big into getting all these different jiu-jitsu shirts, so he got it for me. It's a big joke because he's going to be the godfather of my son Luca. So he got me the shirt.
I love it, man. All right, let's start off with, before we go into your origins, the secret origin of CJ Bambino. Let's go into this, the Backlot Brawl, and Victory Pro Wrestling is presenting it.
Yes, for 5 Points Wrestling, presented by Victory Pro Wrestling. It's going to be me, Ricky Richards, who's coming back for the first time, I think, in like 2 years.
Wow.
Steven Persons and Caveman going to be in the main event. 4-way eliminator. It's going to be great. I've beaten Ricky and Steve plenty of times. Never actually have gotten in the ring with Caveman yet, and I don't for 15 years.
I might have to go to this event. I'm off.
Yeah, a big, perfect come, man.
And it's at 1:30, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, 1:30 doors open. I met Caveman recently, and our paths kind of crossed recently at New Evolution, right?
Yes, at New Evolution.
Sort of. You were kind of like a bully over there. What was going on?
This guy, he's calling me a bully now. That's gonna be my new name, Bully Bambino.
Bully Bambino. I love it.
I might have stolen a title or something like that. Listen, Jeremiah Triggs is a pipsqueak. He's been a thorn in my side since this kid stepped into New Evolution, into SWA. I've had enough of this kid. So as long as I have that belt in my possession, he's never, ever going to be New Evolution best of the best champion. And that is a guarantee.
And you think that is the right thing to do to this poor guy?
Things happen. He fell. You saw it. He fell.
We'll talk about your other promotions that you're going to be at in a moment. Let's get into how you fell in love with professional wrestling.
So that's an interesting story. My uncle used to be a tape trader back in the day. My uncle Steven, God rest his soul, he passed away many years ago. And he used to get all the different Pride tapes from Japan, Japanese wrestling, you name it, he got it. And he ended up getting the exploding barbed wire match with Cactus Jack and Terry Funk from the King of the Death match.
Oh, wow.
So that was the first ever match I ever saw as a kid. I must have been 4 or 5 years old. So I fell in love with wrestling then, and then I would watch, my grandma would always watch after that, the Saturday shows that WWE would have back in the day for WWF. And Macho Man just caught my eye, and just from there, I'm dropping the elbow off my onto pillows, off of my my mom's yelling at me, "What are you doing? You're crazy!" But that's how
Macho
Man. Wrestling.
I love Macho Man. There's nobody quite like him.
Same. He was one of a kind. Someone I wish I could have gotten a chance to share a locker room with, but it's unfortunate. I had a chance to share many locker rooms with his brother, but he's long since passed. But
yeah, he just passed away. It was this year, right? He passed
away? This year. I think about almost 8 months ago, right? Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Alex says, pay tribute to the Don.
You better pay tribute to the Don, especially you, Alex.
Let's talk about, all right, you grew up and now you want to be a professional wrestler. Where did you go train and who were your trainers and what were your thoughts during that whole process? And I know training doesn't stop.
No, yes, training never stops. I'm a firm believer. If you think that you know everything in this business, you might as well get out of it, because I know guys today that have been doing it for 30 plus years that they never stop learning. So there's always a learning curve. There's always something that you know that someone else can teach you. But I went to a USA Pro show with my uncle. It was at the Old Sports Plus. I believe that was in Smith, if I'm not mistaken. And we had gotten a flyer for NYWC. So I was like, oh, wow, this is right by my house. Like, what? You know, I lived in Islip at the time, and my uncle's from Deer Park. So it was at the community center back in the day. So I started going to their shows, and believe it or not, Mike Mondo was just getting signed by WWE, and so was Joey.
Oh, wow.
So I would stay with a handful of my friends. We'd be waiting for a ride, and we would break the wrestlers' balls all the time. How can we become wrestlers? How do we get involved? Blah, 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 blah. Right. So one day, it was like his second or last show. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was right before he left to go to OVW. Mm-hmm. It's like, do you really, truly want to be a wrestler? I said, yes, more than anything in the world. Me and a guy that he no longer wrestles anymore. His name was Blake Morris, wrestled for NYWC. Mm-hmm. He was champion there and everything. Him and I used to be best friends. So he goes, Mondo goes to us, wait right here, I'll be right out. He goes and he gets Mikey Whipwreck.
Oh, wow.
So I'm because I'm 14 years old, and I'm just finding out about ECW, and like Cactus Jack is my hero. He tagged with Mikey Whipwreck. So my head was like, my mind was blown. So he goes, you really want this? You show up tomorrow, which was Sunday, at 6 p.m. is training time, kid. He's like, bring wrestling shoes. And that the rest is history from there. Mikey Whipwreck was my original trainer. Mm-hmm. I ended up getting hurt in school wrestling because I wrestled for Islip High School. Uh-huh. Stopped for a little while. Then I eventually found another place called Pro Wrestling Revolution that ran out of the Upper Room Christian Church, mm-hmm. which is in Dix Hills. And they ran for a while. And I was training under Johnny Ova and Mike Magnum there. And that place eventually closed down. And I was that's where I got my real start. NYWC is where I learned how to bump and all that type of stuff. I was the bellboy there. I was there for a year or two. And then I was, like I said, I was 15, 16. So by the time I graduated when I was 18, going on 19, was around the time that I found Pro Wrestling Revolution. I went pro in 2009 through them. And then when they kind of disbanded, I had to figure out booking and finding out how to get myself booked on my own. There was a few guys like Damian Darling and trying to think of who else was there at the time besides Mike Magnum, Pancakes, who he was Raven back then. Mm-hmm. Guys basically helped me get booked elsewhere because I didn't know the behind the scenes of all that stuff. So I was wrestling in Connecticut and Delaware and all these crazy places down the East Coast. And I'm a young kid, and that's when I originally came up with the CJ Bambino gimmick, because I used to be, my name was my original. I was the straight shooter, mm-hmm. CJ Antonino, not the great Bambino, CJ, or which I eventually shortened it to CJ Bambino.
I love it. It's a good name. It's a catchy name too. Yeah. All right. Now that you, oh shit, I dropped something. Now that you did your initial training, right? You did your initial training.
Yeah.
What was your first professional match, and who was it? Who's your opponent, and what were your thoughts during that?
So,
were you heel or face?
I was the face, believe it or not, and I was scared shitless. You have no idea. I was wrestling this guy. I think he became a bodybuilder. I'm not sure if he's still around. His name was the International Cage. He was a really big, jacked up dude. He had to have been like 6'5", at least 280. Guy was a monster. And he had a mouthpiece by the name of Mike Trash, mm-hmm. who used to run his own. He used to do a lot of stuff with VPW back in the day. You might remember him.
I might if I see him.
Okay. So he was doing stuff with him. And then he was my first match. My first match was 3 minutes long. So we
3 minutes.
What was that?
3 minutes.
Yeah, it was 3 minutes. We did this whole big deal. I started coming back on him, hit him with a few clotheslines, duck a back elbow, come back, boom, big fucking big boot. 1, 2, 3. It was over. It was awesome.
Oh man, what? How was the crowd reaction that night? Like, do you remember?
It was insane. Actually, if I show you this video, which someone had it on their Facebook that I totally forgot someone recorded it. So I have it on my phone. And the next time I see you, I'll show it to you.
Definitely.
The amount of like pizzazz and like everyone was like, oh, like it was a crazy amount of energy from me. Right. And that's how I knew like I'm meant to do this. You know what I'm saying? So it was awesome. It was like a sigh of relief. I remember going in the back and sitting down and like just thinking about like everybody that used to tell me you'll never do this, you'll never make it, you're too fat, you're too small, you're too short, you're too this, you're too that. And there I was having my first professional match at 18, 19 years old.
That's awesome. Don't you just love it when you have to when you show everybody up?
I love it. It's my favorite thing to do.
Alex has another comment. The first ever SWA Pride champion, the first SWA Hall of Famer, CJ Bambino is by far a great human being. I love you, brother.
Thank you, Alex. I truly appreciate it. And all those things are true, by the way.
Alex is getting sentimental on us.
Crying right now. I love you, Alex.
All right. Tell me about your favorite opponent you've wrestled in your career and why those matches are meaningful to you.
Oh, I have so many. I'm going to mention a few people.
I was going to say you can mention a few.
So, number one over everybody is Chris Caden. I don't know if you've ever had him on.
Yeah, I had him on. Yeah.
One of my people in and out of wrestling. I would wrestle him 100 times over blindfolded. I trust him wholeheartedly with me, with anything we'd be doing. He's one of those people that he went out of his way to help me out, like when I was learning and feuding with him. And there was times where we thought that we were biting off more than we could chew, and we didn't. And thankfully we killed it. And I always have had fun with him. I've always had a lot of fun with Ricky Richards, where some of my best matches have been against Caden and Ricky Richards. And then I got to say someone that you know very well, since he's in VPW right now. The big man, also one of my trainers for a brief amount of time, Stockade. Now,
okay, Lothbrock.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that for my second run around IWC, he was head trainer there, and that started to learn how to work as a big man because of him.
Awesome. Kate Lothbrock had some great matches everywhere that I see.
He has been killing it, and then he's lost a ton of weight. And he's just one of those people, even though it's been like tough love with him over the years, he could be crabby, but he's one of my favorite people. He's like a big brother to me, and I'll always love that motherfucker.
Awesome. All right. Tell me about an opponent you want to wrestle that you haven't wrestled thus far, or 2 or 3, however many you want to name.
Someone that I haven't wrestled. I'm going to name a few. I'll name 2 people on the indies.
Let's go.
Joe Ocasio, who I've known for a very long time. He's been killing it all over the place.
He has.
Right now, you can't see a flyer without Joe on it.
I was about to say, I think I see him everywhere now.
We've only gotten to be in the ring together once. It was like a 4-way eliminator or something like that. It was me versus him versus Smiley versus Gangone. I'm thinking that had to have been 2014 or so, but that was the only time we were ever in the ring together. I would love to wrestle him one-on-one. He's someone I have tremendous respect for, and he's just an overall good dude, and I love everything he's doing. Another person on the indies I'd say right now that I would really, really love to wrestle, I gotta say Papa Don. Papa Don is one of those guys that I grew up watching, and he stands the test of time. I think he's one of the greatest heels out there. I also feel that he's probably better than 99% of the wrestlers out there. To me, it's a travesty that he's not signed right now. I know he's had opportunities in AEW and so on. But I feel like he should have been signed a long time ago. He should be signed today, and he would be awesome to test my skills against. And anyone on TV, I would have to say I would want to wrestle Homicide. I know
Homicide.
outside the box, but he's from New York, and I have a lot of respect for him too. And I think my dream match, I'd have to say, would be me versus Chris Jericho.
Jericho. Oh, man, that's a huge name.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's start off with your favorite wrestling venue that you've wrestled out of. And my phone is going off like crazy. Go ahead.
It happens. My favorite wrestling venue. I gotta say, I got a soft spot for the Elks Lodge in Queens. There's just something about that place. I've had so many really good matches there. I've had more matches than I could count on fingers and toes there. I remember when I was first coming up in the business, always making sure that no matter what show was there, whether it was Fight the World Wrestling, which is no longer around, or SWA or some other promotion, I'd try and get my way onto the card and wrestle there. It was just a place that not only was it close, but like, ECW wrestled there so a handful of times. So it's just one of those places that for me, I love that place. And other than that, I would say the NYWC Sportatorium. There's nothing like that place, especially now. The amount of history that's there, aside from them having the history with the Deer Park Community Center, them having that building, there's something about it. I've had so many of my I would say best matches in the NYWC Sportatorium, and it's just when you're there, you feel it. It's cool. I don't know how to explain it.
Awesome. All right, good. See, that's the kind of stuff I like to hear. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like I can't explain it. Just awesome being there, All right, let's go into some of your favorite hobbies. What does CJ like to do on his time that he's not wrestling?
So when I'm not wrestling, obviously, I'm a full-time dad now. Got my 5-month-old Luca.
Oh, congratulations.
Luca Bambino. Being a dad, number one overall. Number two, my dogs are my world aside from my family. So me and my wife are always taking our dogs to different places, take them hiking. They go on the whole nine. I collect baseball cards and I love sports. So that's pretty much that. Outside of that, I'm a movie buff. I love old school movies. I'm a big into horror, big into mob films. Just overall, I love that essence of that old school telling a story, and it just relates to wrestling for me. So,
favorite mob film you have?
I gotta say, a lot of people are gonna be surprised. It's Goodfellas.
I love Goodfellas, man. Man.
So many people are like, "Oh, it's a Bronx Tale," even though I love A Bronx Tale. Goodfellas overall as a mob movie, 1000% blows everything out of the water.
Yo, it's probably, I know Godfather for me is high up there, but I think that Goodfellas is really like nitty gritty gangster.
There, I gotta say, I would say that Godfather 1 and Goodfellas are like neck and neck. So there's so many people that think like 2 is better than 1, but you need to know the story before you get to the story. Right. I know everybody has a different flavor of ice cream. It's just like wrestling. But when it comes to the layout of how things progress to get to that point, to the Don, to Michael Corleone, the real version of Michael Corleone, before 3 when it got out of hand and it became garbage.
Right.
You gotta lay the foundation. There's gotta be a foundation to get to the story.
All right. Yeah, I think that Godfather is more like a family, even though it's a gangster film, it's more like a family thing. Whereas Goodfellas is nitty gritty. It's more about the gangsters and the lifestyle.
But they both transcend culture because that's how things were back then. And a lot of people don't realize that Goodfellas is a semi-true story for the most.
For the most part, it's true.
They added stuff to it, but in the end, true story.
It's a true story. Right. Godfather was made up 100%, but Goodfellas is based on true events. And you're right. They have to embellish things here and there because, obviously they don't know what really happened. But
of course,
it's based on reality. Same thing with Casino.
Yeah, Casino too. That's another great one.
It's a great. I haven't seen what's that one that just came out a couple of years ago on Netflix?
Many Saints of Newark.
No, it's from the guy who did Goodfellas and all that.
Oh, well,
it's like 3 hours.
It's
I can't think of the name.
De Niro in it, Pacino's in it.
Right.
Why can't I think of the name of this movie now? I saw it. It was all right. It wasn't
that good.
You'll like it, but you'll be like, this could have been shorter.
Okay. Favorite horror film?
Favorite horror film? I gotta say Cape Fear.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really, and it's funny because someone that I equate to that film because of their cadence and the way that they carry themselves is Anthony Gangone. I think people in and out of wrestling.
Right.
And
mine too.
He's Max Casey, man. He's a very intelligent Max Casey. He's got the I love it. I watched the movie and I'm like, that's Gangone.
That's Gangone. That's Anthony Gangone. I love it. When I see him, I'll be like, "Yeah, you remind me of the guy from Cape Fear."
You say that to him, he'll probably pop.
He doesn't like me very much at VPW though.
Oh, he's with now. That's why, right?
He's always flipping my tail. Yeah, he's in Kane Industries. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. All right, tell me some of your goals for the rest of the year.
The rest of the year, I would love to have a TV match. That would be awesome. I'm getting some connects out there and getting feelers for certain stuff. The one place right now that I would really, really, really love to be, way, believe it or not, I feel that the way I wrestle and the way that I interact with the crowd, whether I'm a heel or a face, I always have the fans, I feel at least.
Right.
I'm always talking. I make sure that they feel they're a part of an event. And I feel like that intimate atmosphere of it being closed circuit again with the NWA would benefit me. Not to say that I would sneeze at opportunities anywhere else, but that would be my goal by the end of the year. I would love to have at least a tryout with them, which would be cool. Other than that, we're working on rewriting me into NYWC storylines. So obviously my goal is to re-debut there and rewrite my story there, because my story, it was here. And then when I got hurt and Mama Luke got hurt, it went here.
Wow.
So I've never won a single match in NYWC.
Really?
No bullshit. Go back and look at the records. I've lost every single match, even the matches I was in with Mama Luke. Never sniffed a win there. And I've had some good matches. Wrestled Jigsaw, wrestled J-Ro, wrestled a handful of great guys back then, but never got a win. So I'd say my ultimate goal is to get a few wins in NYWC and rewrite my story there by the end of the year.
Okay, all right. What about, who would you like to wrestle now at NYWC?
There's a few names.
Let's hear it.
I gotta get my hands on him before he's done. And it's someone I'm training with right now, and that's Dickie Rods.
Dickie.
Also, Mike Mondo, because Mike Mondo is indirectly the reason why CJ Bambino is here today.
Yeah.
Both those guys I have tremendous respect for. And I think if I have a match with either one of those guys, we're going to tear the roof off the place. That's not me just speaking
bullshit.
It's the truth. I think I would have a friggin' amazing match with either one of those guys.
You know what? I believe it. I mean, I've seen all of you wrestle, so I believe it. Dickie's one of my favorite people out there, man.
He is. He's a great guy.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
Historic rise of Dickie Rods in NYWC. It's wild.
It is, man. Good guy. Oh, somebody said something to you. I didn't even notice it. Bambino sucks. Some clip phrase.
Oh, he's funny.
Those matches would be fire, Serena.
Yes, thank you. See, Serena knows what's up.
Any thoughts? And I know you just have a 5-month-old. Any thoughts about traveling overseas and doing stuff out there?
See, that's also like you think about goals. Like, I would love to, even if I got signed to go wrestle in Japan, I would love that. That's more of my. I like that snug, real feel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like, guy. If someone's gonna hit me, just hit me, please hit me when we're in a match.
Right.
I want people to be like, I know this is, but that was kind of real. I felt like that was the realest thing I saw on the show. So I love that. I love when people come to me and tell me, I would love to wrestle in Japan. I would love to wrestle in Mexico. I would love to wrestle anywhere. I feel like the way that I work now and the way that I'm starting to gain all the knowledge, being a bigger guy and how to work with smaller guys and even guys my size now, I feel like it's a give and a take. They learn from me, I learn from them. And when it's organic, when you first go somewhere, like I've seen some guys do some wild stuff being overseas, and I would love, 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 love to do it. I might never come back. I would love to do it.
All right, let's talk about some of these flyers that we had. Talked about that one. The Space Between. Let's talk about this coming October 28th from NYWC.
Yeah, the Space Between. Like I said, we're in the process of rewriting me into the shows. So the next few shows, I'm not sure when I'll be popping up, but this means the world to NYWC. This means the world to the lineage of NYWC because Tommy Dreamer, even though at his age, is still running at a very high level.
Right.
So whoever gets in the ring with Tommy in any way, shape, or form, they're automatically a made man. Do you agree?
I agree.
So this is going to be out of this world. It's going to be at the Space. I believe it's in Westbury, correct?
Yes, it's in Westbury.
So that venue is a
Post Avenue.
Say that again?
Post Avenue.
Yes. So this venue is a very special venue, and it's going to be a very special show for NYWC. So if you're an NYWC fan, if you're a fan that lives on Long Island and you love professional wrestling, never been to NYWC, start going to shows now because you're going to want to be able to put all the pieces together for when this comes because this is the real deal. This show is going to be monstrous.
Absolutely. Trust no one.
We got a lot of great wrestling on this card.
There's a lot of great wrestlers there.
Your boys, the Slime Balls, are getting their chance.
That's right. Those are my buddies.
Tag titles. The Specialists, those kids are no joke, but neither are the Slime Balls. Those guys are the rising stars of NYWC. This card is going to be stacked. You know Joey Conway is going to be looking to beat Big O and become NYWC champion. Joey Conway is hands down the most elite wrestler, I'd say, right now out of anybody on Long Island.
Absolutely.
Big up-and-comer. He's been world heavyweight champion. Right. This guy understands professional wrestling. He loves this business, and I'm proud to say he's a good friend of mine.
Joey is awesome. I will say that. Big O too, man. That's my buddy too, Big O.
Big O is a sweetheart. Guy does so much for charity.
He does.
He really goes out of his way. He's someone that he was a person that I just recently got to wrestle, and I've been around him for close to 10 years and never got a chance to wrestle him. So it meant a lot to me to finally mix it up with him. Hopefully there'll be more matches in the future. And who knows? Maybe I'll be the one that takes that belt off of him. You don't know.
Maybe. Mondo's there too.
Yep.
And we got Summer of Love, July 22nd.
My man Bun Jesus, another guy that is up there. He's in another stratosphere. Him and Joey Conway both. If you watch their feud, they've done in the past, I would say 3-4 years, it shines everybody. Man Bun doing his Fifth Chris stuff. It's so creative.
Very creative.
It's so outside the box, and I love it. And this is the Summer of Love is a charity event, and he's been doing this for the past few years. This I may be a part of. We'll see what happens. But that's going to be another stacked card, and it's going to be a lot of special matches that I can't put out there yet. So you never know who's going to be there or what's going to happen.
Awesome. And then, of course, we got this coming up, the
Yeah.
Backlot Brawl next Saturday, July 29th.
Next Saturday. Well, no. Not Saturday.
Yeah,
right?
It's got to be July next Saturday.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, July 29th. I'm thinking June.
You're getting me confused. I was like, what? I got to get my bag ready.
I got to get your bag ready and go there now.
5 Points Wrestling is a new company. They reached out to me. I've known the owners for a very long time, and it means the world to me that they are trusting me in the main event with 2 guys that I'm very, very good friends with that I've known a very long time, and Caveman as well. All tremendous talents, every single one of these guys, but I'm going to kick the living crap out of every single one of them because I'm CJ Bambino. I'm the Don. It's time for every single promotion to pay tribute to me because the promotion doesn't matter until I step through the doors. That's the bottom line.
Right.
Then and there. Unless I step through the doors of your company, your promotion does not matter.
Okay. All right. I'm drinking regular soda. I'm not drinking anything special. Do you know who else is going to be on the card?
I believe the Graveyard Disciples and the boy band. Riley Daniels just won the SWA Heavyweight Championship. He's been killing it. He's one of my favorite people too. He's someone that deserves it. He moved to Florida.
He did.
On himself and has been all over the place wrestling in Florida. He's won like 4 or 5 belts since he's been down there.
Wow.
Came back and cashed in his little Snow Brawl Rumble thing from the SWA, and he's the SWA Heavyweight Champion. You never know when I might have to come and break his arm again and take that from him. But for now, I got my eyes still set on a certain cowboy named Trigger that I beat the crap out of 2 Fridays ago, right? So, bull rope match, baby.
They announced the Graveyard Disciples versus the boy band. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm a walking, talking advertisement, baby.
You are, man. You are advertising machine over
there. Yeah. I'm remembering everybody else's stuff over mine.
Is there going to be a women's division there that you know?
That I don't know. I did say something to them about. Do you know who Little Mean Kathleen is?
Of course, I know who Little Mean Kathleen is. She's
one of my favorite women's wrestlers. I told them to reach out to her because she's Scarlet Champion in NYWC anyway. So it probably wouldn't be that far off of them asking to use. But they should, by all means. There's so many great wrestlers out there. Valentina. I could name so many off the top of my head. But I hope that they do some women's matches. It would be good.
My cat over here is laying next to me. Like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah, man. Hey, sprout out some names real quick. A couple of names. You got CJ, little LMK. I was gonna say CJ. LMK. You got Valentina. Who else comes to mind? If you wanted to bring them into this promotion,
Brittany Savage. If she would do a one-off, I know she hasn't wrestled in a while. But she's Long Island based. I know I've seen your
my pal.
you're a Brittany Savage guy. I saw the shirt.
Yeah. We're pals. Yeah, we're good friends.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. I'm trying to think of who else is out there. Willow Nightingale, but probably off doing whatever with
AEW stuff.
ROH and
New Japan now.
New Japan won the belt. Very happy for her. She's one of my favorite people. But she's always one of those people that comes to mind. We got some new stars out there you might know that are coming up in VPW, right?
Sammy Chaos was just there. The Unwilting Tatiana. We got some names over here from Serena Anastasia Morningstar, Megan Mason, of course, Dolly Darko, Aliara Nix, Brittany Brooks, and Tina San Antonio. Yeah, there's a lot of names out there that
has been around for a while, but she can work. That's someone I would put if I was booking things with a younger talent to try and build something there. That'd be kind of cool.
Awesome. All right. What about states you want to wrestle that you haven't wrestled in?
States that I want to wrestle in that I haven't wrestled in. Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, all right.
Don't know why, but I just want to wrestle there. Texas.
Texas is huge, man. One of the wrestlers I had on from Texas was like, you can go from one part of Texas to the other and feel like you're in a different part of the country.
Dude, there's so much down there. I would love to take like a week or two to just go and do it.
2 shows, yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Even in Florida, same thing. Like I've wrestled in Florida before, but it would be sick to just do the whole hotbed. Old school.
Old school. All right.
Like as if I was Dusty Rhodes or Ric Flair. Right?
You don't have to be. You're CJ Bambino, bro.
My shoes. They wouldn't even be able to get the shine box to shine my shoes.
The shine box. Hey, Tommy, come shine my shoes, Tommy.
Look like tears.
This motherfucker. CJ, man, thank you for coming on the show, man. I appreciate you coming on.
No problem. We definitely need to do a part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I know, man. I got a couple of guys I've done many parts with, but definitely we got to do more, man. Me and you. And as my cat wanders to my table.
I would appreciate if you don't big league me anymore. And
hold on, my cat's trying to take over my podcast.
Put me here in a little intro, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to be designing a new one soon with all the streaming stuff on it. It's just been so crazy. I haven't had a chance to do it. You know what I'm saying? With my team.
Sometimes life gets in the way. And Serena has been amazing. She's more gone out of her way to reach out to me, and late night, early mornings. She's awesome. So you got a good one in her.
Thank you. I know. But don't forget, you got to watch CJ Bambino July 29th. Definitely at the 5 Points Wrestling Backlot Brawl. He's in the main event with Caveman, Ricky Richards, and Steven Person, who is one of my favorite persons, if you must say.
Live and in person.
Live and in person. And since we're talking about Steven Person, we got New Evolution Wrestling coming back in September.
Yes, with no date yet.
No date yet, but it's in Queens.
It will be in Queens. It should be in the Elks Lodge if they don't double book us again. And I'll bring my title, and that'll be that. Jeremiah Triggs, like I said.
Do you have it next to you?
What?
Do you have it next to you?
No, I don't. I'm actually at Buzz house right now.
All right.
Title everywhere with me?
Yeah, you might. I don't know. Maybe keep it in the trunk.
Walking around in the middle of CVS with my belt.
Why not?
But not only Evolution Wrestling will be back in September, SWA is back in September. We'll coming up soon, but both shows back in September. Catch me on NYWC soon, and definitely catch me at 5 Points Wrestling July 29th.
Awesome. And just so everybody knows, Papa Denk is involved in the MCW Anti-Bullying Tour.
Way to be.
And we're going to be making stickers like this. We just tweaked it a little bit, so it's not the exact one. But stickers like this, and we're going to sell them for $5, and everything will go to a scholarship program of MCW's choice. So we're trying to fix the resolution on it. So that'll be coming out soon. And then you can catch my latest vlog interaction where I'm hanging out with Jack Tomlinson and Brittany Brooks as they're squaring off against Prime and Celsius. That's out now, as well as my first meeting with Leo Sparrow. And as you can see on this, he does not look very happy with me. I don't think he likes me very much, to be honest with you.
I don't think he likes many people very much. He had a waiter or something like that. He wasn't very nice to him.
Yeah, he did. He had a waiter to serve him his food. And as always, I will be at Victory Pro Wrestling. I know we're competing against NYWC, but the Battle in Bayshore, make sure you go to Victory Pro Wrestling, get your tickets for that event, where I will be there filming my next vlog interaction. And the one we just filmed, it's gonna be edited, so it'll be out hopefully within the next 2 weeks. And then once again, CJ, I am hanging out with the SATs at Wrestling Is Now, Saturday, July 29th in Richfield Park for that Maximo Legacy Tag Team Tournament where they're going to crown their first World's Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Look at those belts, man. They're beautiful, right?
They are. The win belt is amazing, the heavyweight title.
The win belt is amazing. Did I have that picture of it? Yeah, I do. It's going to come up in the corner. I think it's in the corner. Maybe. No, there it goes.
Yeah.
There's that champion. Look at that.
Great.
Woo! A championship belt, man. It's beautiful. The current champion and the inaugural champion is the one and only Joey Conway. The cause of it all, he calls himself.
Above, so below.
I know. I like when he does that. He go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Love Joey Conway.
So do I.
He's a good bad guy.
he's a good bad egg.
That's right. Make sure you go get your tickets for this event on Saturday, July 29th in Babylon.
Yes.
Right? West Babylon. That's right.
And you could follow me on Instagram at CJ or Bambino. Look me up on Facebook, CJ Bambino -official. Can't miss me. I'm the handsomest professional wrestler out there, baby.
Awesome, man. I was gonna say, where can everybody follow you? But you beat me to it.
I told you, I'm walking, talking, advertising.
I see, bud. I see. All right, I will be back next Monday as well with Steven Azure at 9 p.m. My cat's going nuts over here. 9 p.m. Yeah, the Even Stevens are a great tag team. We're gonna have Steve on by himself. I think it's his first one by himself because he's usually with Somerset. So we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff, me and Steven. And Stephen Purse is coming back July 5th at 8 o'clock. Since we had to talk about Stephen.
Yep.
He's coming. And then I believe it's next Saturday.
Oh, I know her.
No, Friday, June 30th. Era Spiral is coming back on the podcast. I think it's been like 2 years since I've had her on.
She's great.
It's been a while. Yeah, she's awesome. Really, really great person, too. CJ's professional. Hold on. CJ's professionally knows what's up.
Had to do.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. I will see you back on Monday. CJ, just stick around for one moment. Have a good night.